So when we look around the SEC, one of the teams I'm most interested in for the 2023 season is the Arkansas Razorbacks, and for several different reasons. First and foremost, they lost a lot of players to the transfer portal, and I'm really interested to see how Sam Pittman is going to address some of these losses. But what better way to address some of the losses you've sustained than by adding in a former 5-star, former top 30 player in all of high school football in the class of 2022, Jaheim Singletary, a very talented cornerback, someone I know the Arkansas fan base is very excited to add in. Today, we need to break this move down. We need to talk about why this is such a big addition and why I'm so interested in the Razorbacks going into this year. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill, I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that the Arkansas Razorbacks were able to get in Jaheim Singletary? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below, as those interactions seem small, but they are massive to content creators such as myself, and we're on a push to 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this unbelievable journey. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And as I stated in the intro, Arkansas is a team that when I look at the SEC, I'm really interested into what they're going to be able to do during the course of the 2023 season. Going into the 2022 season, I was really high on the Razorbacks, and there were areas where I thought they would be a much better team. However, fast forward to now, and Pittman and this coaching staff have to kind of go back to the drawing board, especially on defense. I think KJ Jefferson coming back is massive for the Razorbacks, especially because you're getting a new offensive coordinator. In a situation where there's so much new, you love the fact that you have your experienced quarterback, your leader on the team coming back that can help make this transition as smooth as possible. And he is a baller. KJ Jefferson is so talented. You love that you get him back. But specifically, my attention has been on that defense for the Razorbacks, because that's a defense that has got to improve if this team wants to improve. And specifically, that secondary. And it doesn't help whenever you lose a Miles Slusher. It doesn't help whenever you lose a Jalen Catalon. And I understand. Catalon has been injured. Those injuries have really hurt his ability to be able to play consistently for the Razorbacks. But we know what he can do when he's healthy. And when he's healthy, he is an extremely gifted college football player, someone who is an absolute difference maker. But even on top of that, the secondary is where so many problems were sustained in that defense. We can look at the edge, where Jordan Dominic had a huge year for the Razorbacks, and he's not going to be there anymore. He transfers from Arkansas to Colorado. So this is a defense that they're going to look to improve during the offseason before the 2023 campaign gets here, because it must improve. When we look, this was the number 101 scoring defense in the nation, the number 124 total defense, and against the pass, they were number 131 in the nation. The yards per attempt were just about 9 at 8.53, and the yards per completion were just about 14 at 13.93. That's not where you want to be. That's not winning football. And especially whenever you have to get in some new pieces on the offensive side of the ball. You have a new offensive coordinator, and while KJ Jefferson is still there, and I have no doubt he will be able to take that offense and do something with it, you don't want him to have to do everything. You don't want every aspect of your team thrust upon his shoulders. And what I mean when I say that, at the point where if the defense struggles like they did last year, your best case scenario is to extend drives on offense, to keep your defense on the sideline and make sure your offense dictates the pace of the game, inherently putting more on KJ Jefferson's shoulders. And while I think he is a very gifted player, you want a balanced approach, something that I think Sam Pittman is very cognizant of. Because in fairness to Sam Pittman, when you look at Arkansas and how they've been responding to the losses they've sustained, they're cognizant of their problems. If we look at their recruiting class, the number one recruit in their class is a cornerback from the state of Texas, someone who could be of major help. But if we look in the transfer portal acquisitions, not only did they get Jaheim Singletary, like I said in the intro, the number 27 player overall in his respective recruiting class in the class of 2022, standing 6'2", coming out of high school, having that range that is so coveted in these modern corners to be able to deal with these rangy wide receivers. But you don't just get Jaheim Singletary. If you just got Jaheim Singletary, I think there would absolutely be a reason for excitement. But it's the guys you've gotten outside of Jaheim Singletary in this secondary that I find to be compelling. Because you also got two guys from Baylor, Al Walcott and Lorando Johnson. So it wasn't just the addition of Jaheim Singletary, though, like I just said, I think you'd need to be very excited if it was the addition of just Jaheim Singletary. This Arkansas coaching staff has been really aware of what they want to do. And once again, we talked about a new offensive coordinator. There's new faces in the defensive coaching staff. They're now going to have a new face trying to fix this secondary, something that must be fixed if Arkansas is going to be the team that they want to become under Sam Pittman. And I have been on record time and time again how excited I am for Sam Pittman's future. He just seems like a coach that even if you are a rival fan base to Arkansas, it's tough to root against the guy. He just seems like a guy that's easy to get behind and root for, and because of that, I would like to see the Arkansas Razorbacks be able to figure this out, because this is not a winning recipe, and especially when you have a quarterback that's as talented as KJ Jefferson, you want to be able to create balance around him instead of putting everything on his shoulders, and while I have no question that that is Sam Pittman's plan, unfortunately, it needs to come to fruition for them to be able to be as successful as they would like to be. But I'm super intrigued about the Arkansas Razorbacks this year. Getting Jaheim Singletary is a massive addition out the transfer portal because he transferred from the Georgia Bulldogs. And whenever we look at this, there were some questions as to where he could go. During the recruiting process, he had one time committed to Ohio State, and he's from the state of Florida. So there were absolutely some options out there. Some people were wondering if he could end up in Florida. Other people were wondering if he could go back to Ohio State, but inevitably it is the Arkansas Razorbacks that win this sweepstakes, and I think if you're an Arkansas fan, you've got to be very excited. But hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking about this edition, and then let me know what you're thinking you want to see fixed the most for the Razorbacks. That's it. See you.